Okay, so we've got another fundamental to talk about, and that is secondary action. Now, a lot of people will confuse overlap and follow through and drag and those types of things with secondary action. They're actually two different things. If you remember when I was talking about overlap and overlapping action and drag, those were things that were happening as a result of a main action. I was using the dancer with the skirt and how that skirt was reacting to her action. That's overlapping action and drag. What we're going to have is secondary action. A secondary action is a completely separate action that's happening, that's going on, but in support of the main action. So you'll have a character. Let's say I'm going to use an example of me just sitting here thinking. So let's say I'm thinking, and the idea is I want to get across, this idea of being deep in thought. Well, the main action is that I'm going to be taking this pose, and because I'm thinking, there's not a lot of movement going on. But then maybe there's a secondary action of me kind of rubbing my chin, and I'm kind of, thinking, and maybe while I'm doing this, I put my hand up on the table, and I'm tapping my finger, and all of that is in support of this main action that I'm concentrating, I'm thinking. And those secondary little actions are amplifying that. It's clarifying the idea that I'm concentrating, I'm trying to think, I'm trying to solve a problem. Now I can take that same main action where I'm just kind of looking around and I'm thinking, and I can change the secondary action and completely give the whole thing a different attitude. So if I'm, once again, keep that same main action where I'm thinking, but now I start scratching my head. Well, now I'm thinking, but I'm also confused. I'm puzzled. I don't know what to do. See, those are the different ways that your secondary action can support your main action. And then also within in an action scene, you can have secondary actions. If we go back to the dancer, and I scroll through and I show you, her jumping through, that main action is her coming down and leaping up into the air. The secondary action are her arms. Her arms are coming down in a different timing, and they're throwing themselves up to help with that main action, that secondary action of the arms, okay? So secondary action is just that. It's not the main action, it's a secondary action, and it's always there to support the main action. Whether it's literally action, where it's the arms coming in, coming through and trying to drive that leap of the dancer, or it's a gesture or an acting suggestion or action that will help support the main acting action. Okay? So once again, just to reiterate, remember me thinking, I could be rubbing my chin, that's one action, or I could be scratching my head, that's a different action, but they're both conveying two completely different ideas. Okay? So that's secondary action. Let's move on to the next thing. Thanks.